All right, so yeah, I was just waiting because I've been starting my stream like 3 times, restarting my stream 3 times, and it would not work. And I just closed my software and run it as admin, and now it works. Something I never had to do before, like ever. It was always working perfectly fine, and now apparently I have to run it as admin. So I don't really understand, but looks like now it's working anyway. So sorry for that. I don't really get it. So you guys missed the game one, which was Ottomans against Hero. KingofOsmane has won with the Tower FF, and Sompu went for Tomahawk Semi FF, got KingofOsmane's trading post down, then kind of overcommitted to the 4 Hustles age up, and then just got right clicked by Jans and like 5 Falconets that KingofOsmane trained. So that was kind of this. Honestly, I mean, it's obviously unfortunate that you could not see the first game, but if that can be of any consolation, it was not a very good game to watch. Not very much happened, and then Sompu just tried to kill the Falconets, then lost his entire army and resigned at like minute 12 or something. So, well, hopefully the next games are going to be better, and now you guys can watch them. Anyway, yeah, that's a bit annoying. I've been casting basically the whole game for absolutely no one because I was just talking alone, and yeah, that's great. Oh well. All right, so that makes it 1-0 for KingofOsmane here. So he said he wanted to play Ottomans on this map now. However, he was not able to because obviously he's picked Ottomans for game one already. So instead, he's gone for France, and looks like Sompu is counter picking with Aztecs. And Aztecs have, there is kind of a trend about Aztecs at the moment because of the new 2 War Huts age up. People seem to think it's very strong. So maybe that's why Sompu is going for Aztecs here against France. KingofOsmane is probably gonna just go for a trading post on top. Um, which makes a lot of sense. On this map, you start with an extra 100 wood, so this should have been a food start, but you do get the extra 100 wood there, and so that way he's able to take a trading post anyway. So it's a bit different on this map. Basically, France is granted to always be able to take a trading post, so it's not very standard. Meanwhile, Sampu is chopping some wood. He's going for a market. He's got 30 coin. It's gonna slow down his age up for sure. Maybe a little bit of a greedy market here. Might have to age up 1 bill later. He might be able to get that 75 wood though. So yeah, Buster is gonna just age. Osman built a house, he chopped 100 wood for it. He's scouting around with his native scout, picking up that 40-foot treasure in his base. Did not get very much else. He did get another 50 food, so that's almost 100 food already, so it's gonna help him age up a little bit more easily. So you can see he's gonna have more food than much more food than Aztecs actually towards his age up. 3 CTBs as well coming in, standard stuff. I don't know if he got the XP or not. I think he did not. Oh, a couple pets here for Osman. And Aztecs did get the 75 wood, and now he's scouting on top. He might eventually find that 70 food treasure here. But there isn't too much left on the map now. So we'll have to see if Aztecs wants to age up with the standard fast age or if he's going for the new double warhead age up. We'll be able to see about that very shortly. And getting another blow gunner, 3 of them already. It's pretty big. I mean, it can help you a lot in an H2 fight because these guys do 30 damage. And they also have 30 range resist and a lot of HP. So they're actually pretty strong units. And Somppu is using the slow wage indeed, so the double war huts. But Osman is balling up already, and I don't know if Somppu wants to block the wall or just get his own wall up. I feel like he could maybe have built a wall segment, a perpendicular wall segment to try and block that wall from going up. But it's not going to happen, so that Ville, I don't know what it's really going to achieve here. So that means it's going to make it harder for Aztecs to bring units through that way. But anyway, realistically, Aztecs would probably want to drop his war huts on top. The 2 of them here on all the hunts. Like you can drop your war huts here and block almost the whole map, basically. Just block the next hunts and pressure that coin mine while you wall up yourself here. So it's an easy way for Aztecs to control the map, to just have the war huts here. Osman is up with the quartermaster, 400 wood, very standard. Gonna drop a stable, very standard as well. He knows he's not gonna be pressured too much because of the slow wage, so he definitely has time to get a stable up and start training some hustles. There might be a scary timing later, but for the time being at least, France is not gonna be pressured. Oh, that native scout is barely gonna escape. That's pretty big, actually. That guy is very valuable in stealth mode. You can see a lot of things. These war huts going forward, being put down on these hunts here. Might just use them to control the TP line as well. 700 wood first card, so Somppu is gonna be able to get his houses up, and he's got a lot of food stacked so that he can train units from 2 buildings. He does need to build houses though. Okay, 1 house gonna go up. And he's probably gonna queue some coyotes. Because obviously when you have that much food, coyotes cost a lot of food and a bit of wood, so it's a pretty good way to mass a lot of coyotes with 2 war huts and 700 wood, and adding a second trading post. I wonder if you don't want to just build like 5 pikes and get the TP down in stagecoach. But looks like Somppu is just massing units for the time being and not really looking to... Oh, actually he does have some pikes, I just didn't see that. So he will get the TP down and probably try to stagecoach with 600 wood, while making coyotes and maybe pressuring the base a little bit. And France is giving up on that trading post. There's no real way to defend it realistically, so he's just gonna give it up and wall up a little bit in his base, add a barracks, maybe a few infantry units, maybe try to age up. Ten maces coming in from Aztecs, still going to be able to mass a lot of units because of that stagecoach and the 2 war huts, and able to ship some strong unit shipments as well. 8 crossbows. Osman playing it safe, but honestly I don't know how good these crossbows are. He also deleted the pillars, but that means there's holes in his walls and that's not what he wants. That is sloppy. He might want to just send his hustles here and try to siege this down. Maybe he can even see the Ville. I think he can see the Ville with his walls, so he could just try to kill it. 6 Pumas coming in for Aztecs as well, so he's got a solid mass of units. So, Aztec's not pushing just yet. Maybe waiting for another unit shipment. He's got one on the way. Well, he's got a shipment on the way. I don't know if it's a unit shipment. It might be 9 Maces or 6 Coyotes, which is also a pretty good shipment, actually. And he's gonna just push forward now, but these wolves are gonna be annoying. Then again, he can get the market down pretty quickly. But meanwhile, these units, these infantry units are able to defend. So now Osman eating his ship and shipping gold, so he can just stop mining gold, make a few more hussars and musks, and then just age behind. Or maybe he's even gonna age now. And if he can safely reach fortress, he's in a very good position. But for the time being, he's outmassed because he's stacking his resources, trying to age up. Might have wanted to spend his resources now, actually. If he would... Sorry for that. If you would just maybe... Well, he called Minuteman and he's trying to fight, so that's probably good enough. But he could have also some units in queue and maybe force a good fight here. Because I'm not sure that this is enough to beat Aztecs at this point. Well, this position is pretty good for Osman. The Coyotes are not really able to go in, and Somppu is not really microing anything, just drag boxing his entire army, so it's not the best unit control, and I think this was a pretty good trade for KingofOsmane, and you can see it in the score already that Osman is very much ahead. And now, if you look at the state of the game, Osman is aging. He's got more eco, even though there's a stagecoach. So actually, Aztecs is ahead in eco, but you know, it's not too big of a gap. There's no 5 bills in. Aztec has no unit shipments besides the 6 Coyotes, so it's not gonna be too scary of a timing for him. And yeah, Osman is up, so he's rebuilt the wall as well. He should maybe finish that segment. And I don't know that there is gonna be any window for Aztecs to do anything anymore. I think Osman is in a very good position now. And these maces are good at poking. They have more range and they do a lot of damage to musketeers. But he will be able to get the house down. But you know, maybe Osman can get veteran musketeers, or maybe he can't. But either way, I think falconets should be totally protected. He's got enough musketeers, enough hussars to cover these falconets, so he can probably push with falconets already. Maybe ship falconets and then 3 queers or something, and then just go. Maybe train a few more queers and or maybe get some goons. I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point what kind of unit he gets, as long as Osman gets has a good unit control. I think he should be able to win the next fight. Aztecs did ship 5 vills, so now he's pulling ahead in the eco with the stagecoach, but and adding another Wahat. But you know, there's gonna be a window for France. I wonder if Somppu could have maybe gone for 6 Pumas, 5 vills instead of 9 maces, and then 600 gold in age, because he's got the fast age available. Maybe he would be able to hold the push then. 6 queers already on the field for Osman, shipped 3 of them and made 3. And now he can probably ship the falconets very safely. And I don't know how Osman is going to deal with that. He kind of needs to be H3 now. I don't know if you can kill this unit composition, no matter how many units you make as H2 Aztecs. These Coyotes are going to be pretty bad against the Queers, and the Pumas are just pikes. Even though they're very strong pikes, it's not exactly a great unit. And the Maces are kind of irrelevant when there's Falconets in the field. So Coyote combat coming in, certainly going to buff these Coyotes, but it's going to be a tough fight for Somppu, I think. Osman could even ship the goons. Or imagine if he had the Swiss pikes in deck. Because he's mining so much gold, he doesn't really have a lot of hunts. He could get that hunt though, but Swiss pikes and queers would be almost impossible for Aztecs to deal with. So surely a unit shipment is gonna pop anytime and Osman is gonna just push. Meanwhile, Aztecs is content to just keep making more war huts and sit on his stagecoach, try to abuse his superior eco and map control. But France has the superior unit composition and the stronger units as well. He deleted the walls, so he's going to be pushing now. Probably two Falconets going to pop. You can already see the rally point here. Falconets being popped, being pulled a little bit forward. And this is going to be go time for Osmane. He's got much more military, and it's now or never, I think. And he's going to be slow pushing the war huts. It's kind of like, how should I say, making up for the stagecoach. At this point, Somppu sort of used the wood he got from stagecoach to make more war huts, and now these war huts are just going to be taken down. So it kind of like makes up for not having stagecoach, just getting this down, just negating the extra wood Aztecs have got from the stagecoach. Somppu is just trying to get a big mass of Coyote runners going, but wow, there's so many units to deal with them. There's the Cav, there's the Goons, and the Musketeers, so it's gonna be very tough for these Coyotes to get a good trade. They do have Coyote combat, but I don't know that it's enough. And if Somppu gets Cav combat next, which I hope he does, maybe one more batch of Queers and Cav combat, would be a really scary army from France. I hope he doesn't go for something like 8 skirms. He could go for 5 goons, but I think Cav combat is better at this point, provided that he gets another batch of units. Yeah, he's got more goons. Maybe some queers could be nice. There's something on the way. It does look like Cav combat if you look at the pop. 135 and he's got 139, so it's not a unit shipment. I think it's Cav combat, but it might be just a bit too late. The Coyote runners trying to get on top of the Falconets. They will take the Falconets down, but at what cost? Meanwhile, the Falconets are firing away, just getting a lot of units, and the Pumas are targeting the CDBs, which is really not what you want. 8 skirms is still alright, I guess. The Coyote mass is melting. If you look at the score, it's not looking good for Aztecs. These Pumas not attacking the Cav is really huge. Maybe a bit too many goons now. He really needs to make Queers. Queers are really strong against Aztecs. You don't need that many goons. It's time to stop with the goons. But regardless, the sheer mass of units from KingofOsmane is just so much bigger than what Somppu has, and he cannot totally afford to go in with his goons and just snipe the Pumas and everything. It's still a sort of a good trade for Somppu here, but yeah, I mean, these units are just gonna die. 7 skirms as well, so a big remass from KingofOsmane here. 3 warrior priests being shipped forward as well, somewhere. I wonder. Oh, they're in here. Maybe there's some vills. I don't know if there's also the warrior priests in there, but they're not in base. That is really awkward. Surely the warrior priests are here. That is not ideal, but not that it really matters anyway. I mean, this game is pretty much over. Somppu resigns. 2-0 for KingofOsmane. Pretty solid defense from Osman here. Hopefully showing that this double warhead age up is not necessarily OP or anything. I mean, you do give up on a lot of pressure if you slow age. It's given so much time to Osman to just play France, basically. You know, just get the steel traps. After that age 1 TP, get your steel traps, get your stable up, your barracks up, wall up a little bit, get a decent mass of Musk Haas, 8 bows, totally be fine and defend, and then age up, and then just win in the fortress age, because there was no real damage being done by Aztec at any point in this game. You do get a strong timing, but was not a big deal for Osman. Calling Minuteman, not even spending his resources, able to age right after, even though he was stacking Like, he was fighting and stacking so much and still able to defend and then age behind. And maybe Aztecs want to age up somewhere around here instead of staying H2. But even if you age here as Aztecs, you're going to be behind in the military, so it's tough. And then you have to get some Arrow Knights to kill the Falconets, so it's not ideal. Aztecs surely outgathered, but not even that much because France has a better eco overall. So even with the TPs barely outgathering, especially when you don't fast age, you don't train vills at this point in the game. So he had less vills than you would usually have if you slow age, and delaying his 5 vill shipment until 10 minutes. So not having the greatest eco. Yeah, the stream was on. It just wouldn't send the data for some reason. It was even saying I was live, like and streaming, and then the data I don't know where it was going, but not on the ESOC stream. I really wonder where all the data of streaming was going. Probably just nowhere. And next map is gonna be Tupero, and Sompu has to pick first. He's locking in some Russia. Definitely not a bad map for Russia. Uh, the hunts are pretty low, I think, and the TPs are not very safe. They're a bit exposed, so Russia might be able to take them down easily. So I wonder what you counterpick Russia with here. Surely Otto would be a good counterpick, but Osman has used them in the game one already, so he can't go for Ottos anymore. And I don't know how much gold you have in base on this map. Maybe Germany could be a good counterpick. Let's see. Yeah, maybe Germany, maybe Euro. Aztecs would be fine as well, but I don't think Osman plays Aztecs. Spain could also be a good pick, probably. We'll just have to see what KingofOsmane decides to go for. Alright then, I take a small break too, I'll be right back.
Are you ready?
All right, so I am back. Looks like Osman wants to counterpick Russia with Hero, which is definitely a good pick. I do think Hero sort of has all the tools to beat Russia. Hero has they're fast, so they don't really get rushed by Russia. Like it's not really possible for Russia to rush Hero. They can survive FF, and Russia is probably not able to do much just because the War Chief is so strong, and Hero can get a lot of units in a very short time, so they can totally defend any sort of pressure. Um, Hero also has a pretty good late colonial, so even if they are forced to stay H2 for some reason, Russia might have the upper hand because Russia is probably the best colonial civ, but Hero is by no means bad, so they can also have a shot at beating Russia there. And Hero also has really strong fortress units, strong goons, strong skirms, strong cav shipments, everything you need to beat Russia basically. So I really like that matchup as Hero, and I really like the decision of KingofOsmane to counterpick with Hero here. If he even does, because he might change his mind. He's maybe not sure. I don't know how much Hero Osman can play. He might not be a big Hero player actually. So maybe he's a bit hesitant to play that Civ. So anyway, that's 2-0 in this play all 5 between KingofOsmane and SomppuKunkku. So pretty good start by Osman so far. So we'll just wait for Somppu to come back. Let's have a look at Osman's deck. Let's see how much Hero he plays. Yeah, I mean these decks are alright. Maybe not a fan of 8 Tomahawks. Surely you can get something more interesting in there, but overall pretty good decks. So in this matchup, it kind of depends on what hero is doing. Russia sort of has to adapt. If hero is going for a fast age, Russia can't really go for a forward blockhouse. They have to turn back and build it in base because hero is just going to be much faster than Russia. But if hero is going for a slow age, then Russia can get a blockhouse up in the middle of the map. Not that they can really rush hero, but still having the map control is always better than not. So they still want to build that forward blockhouse, and then probably try to aim for some sort of straight Cossack timing with a few musketeers maybe to try and do some damage when hero is trying to age up. And we're going into that. Somppu cancelled. All right, now we are going into that game 3 of the playoff 5 between Somppu from the SKG and KingofOsmane from the Mandarin Duck Squad, I believe. 2-0 for KingofOsmane so far. Pretty convincing games. Didn't really make any major mistake. Pretty solid play by Osman today. We'll have to see now how comfortable Osman is in this matchup. It's definitely not one of the matchups we see a lot. And Osman is definitely not a big hero player. So it's sort of a challenge for him maybe to play this properly. While Somppu is a big Russia player, so he probably knows what to do. Roughly, at least. It's going to be an interesting game. We do have a coin start, which doesn't really matter in this matchup. The only start that matters is the wood start, where hero would be able to take a trading post. But the coin start doesn't really do much for either of these civs. I guess Russia could be lucky enough to get some treasures and go for a market, but it's kind of unlikely. We do have 100 food treasure here, 100 XP there. So pretty solid treasure spawning already. 100 XP again. And Osman got the native scout already. So he's gonna have the upper hand in that age 1 with the pets, the native scout, and his stronger war chief. So, oh, they're right next to each other. Oh, and Osman is gonna spot that and try to come in and deny the treasure. And there's no crack shot for Somppu, so it's not gonna be as easy to kill that alligator. Oh, and I believe Osman... Ah, it's very close. Osman got it, yeah. So he stole the 100 food, which is massive because both of these civs like some food treasures to age a little bit faster. Especially hero, it can make a huge difference in the age up time for hero if they get that kind of treasure. Like, he's almost certainly going to be able to age up his 14 views at this point instead of the standard 15. Which is just 25 seconds faster, and that's really nice for hero. And that explorer is being chased down back to his base, so not a good age 1 for Somppu so far. Gonna be able to crack shot that alligator, but not much more than that. Osman could even honestly just go in. I mean, you know Russia is not gonna afford to put some wheels in that town center to TC fire the war chief, right? So you can even keep going and try to kill that explorer. And if he does bail some wheels in that TC, you still have time to go back because your explorer is high HP. And then Russia sort of wasted some villager seconds and gonna age late. But it's probably equally good to just go for that XP treasure here. Well, to be fair, I did not check the hunts, but the hunts are, yeah, they both have hunts. Like this is totally fine, and this as well. And Somppu also got a backhand here and another one there. So yeah, I think this is good enough. Anyway, so yeah, Osman did get the XP, which is also nice. He could even fast stage, and he's fast staging, isn't he? Or am I just... Nah, he's not fast aging. But he aged up 14, which is quite fast. He's chopping for a TP. Somppu built a market, so I guess he bought 100 wood because he got 20 coin and he just mined some... Did he get hunting dogs? No. I guess he mined 5 gold and just bought 100 wood for a house and get that market up. But it surely must have delayed his age up by quite a bit, so I'm not sure it's a good idea. Osman is gonna be up quite a bit faster than Russia here. So he could totally go for a forward warhard, even though he did not fast age. But he's probably gonna just elect to put it in base and go for a semi-FF or something similar. Or not. Okay, he's going forward and trying to take the control of the TP line, taking a second trading post. Somppu going for the blockhouse in base anyway. That is kind of anticlimactic. I mean, I feel like Russia usually wants to go forward in this matchup. Because the one thing they have when Hero is not fast aging is that Russia is kind of as fast as Hero. Not faster, but as fast, so they can sort of fight for the map control. But he decides to go in base, and he's gonna build a TP there probably. So it's gonna make it very hard. This map is very large, so it's gonna make it really hard for Osman to get the whole stagecoach here. And Osman is already going there. He's like, I want to get that TP because it's so far. I don't want to have to siege it down. But in fact, it's too late already, and Somppu's got the TP up. So he's gonna turn back and probably take this TP here. Couple pets. I mean, a pet and native scout around. Osman identifying that in-base blockhouse already. 700 wood for Somppu. He's got steel traps on the way, a trading post. Probably no units in queue yet because you can't really afford to get units in queue at this point as Russia. And Osman opening with 800 resources. Gonna build that last TP. He's got stagecoach already. Wow. I just don't know how good it is because Russia got 1 TP. He's gonna miss a pass as well, which is kind of big. But he does have 3 TPs to 1, which is nice. And Russia doesn't have the mass to contest it. And again, this is also why you kind of want to have your blockhouse forward in this matchup, if you can. Because if you have it in base like that and just play greedy, then Hero is so much faster anyway, and he can get a stagecoach, and you can't really punish it. 10-3, that's out for Russia. But it's a long time until he can get some mass. 5 Cossacks. But this whole composition kind of get just shut down by 4 Kanyas. So Somppu can't really push out just yet. Where are the Kenyas though? Oh, they're here, they're hidden. He's hiding them. So Hero got away with stagecoach and 3 TPs and 5 vills. No hunting dogs yet, but soon probably. And now he's gonna drop a stable, and with the stagecoach he's gonna be able to get a big mass of Kenyas. So I don't know what Russia does here. I mean, it's looking really dicey. He's behind in eco. It's gonna be a long time until he's ahead because of that stagecoach. He has no map control, and Hero has a stable and a warhad, and he's gonna mass a lot of units. That stable was not used just yet. Oh well, he's made 1 Cossack actually, but yeah. 4 Cossacks being shipped and 10 more strats being trained. So this is a good timing for Somppu to push out. But again, there's no anti-cav, and I'm afraid he's just gonna get crushed. Next patch of Kenya is gonna be very tough for Russia to deal with. Surely there's a batch on the way. Yeah, and that is not good for Russia. That is totally not good for Russia. The unit composition is just better for Hero because it's got tomahawks, which can deal with the Cossacks, and then there's nothing to kill the Kenyas. Oh, 7 hyenas popping as well. This is gonna be a cleanup for Hero for sure. Unless there's like 5 Musk and 5 Cuss popping, but I don't think so. Not early enough, at least, I think. Somppu should really call Minutemen. Okay, Minutemen coming forward, he's gonna try to deal with the Kenyas. So it was not too bad for Somppu. He might be able to save some of his Tridents. Maybe Osman could have surrounded a little bit better with his Kenyas as well and not allow that many Tridents to escape, but that's a solid mass of Tridents, but there's gonna be more Kenyas popping and Somppu will have to go back again. But this is the kind of trade which is not bad for Russia. Russia likes to trade like that and just keep out booming meanwhile with these batches of 3 vills. But then again, he's still not even ahead in vills, and meanwhile, Hero has 2 extra TPs. Russia does have steel traps, and Osman is only now getting hunting dogs, but I still think the eco is in favor of Hero. But it really sucks for him that there is this TP here in the side of the map. It's very, very hard. This map is so large. It's so long to go there and siege it down. He could try to send like just 5 Tomahawks, but then Russia might send 10 Cossacks and catch them. And if you send more than 5 Tomahawks, then Russia is just going to push your War Hut or some other of your TPs anyway. So it's very hard to control this kind of TP line. Osman might want to just try and age. I don't know about these 6 hyenas either. But I think... Oh, okay, so Osman is going for the fight now. Hyena's in position to snipe the musketeers and more Cossacks coming in. Maybe Boyas. Boyas could be huge here if Russia can get it in time. But the fight is going already and there's no Boyas just yet. And there's still a lot of Kenyas alive. Maybe not enough Kenyas? Yeah, probably not enough Kenyas. Oh, more of them though. Boyas coming in a little bit late, but still gonna be big. It's gonna help Somppu survive here. He's making even more Strides, but he kind of needs something else. Cossacks coming in. This might be good for Somppu actually. Maybe Osman could have just aged at some point. Because he's not really able to ever get enough Kenyas to clean up the Strides. But he could have aged because Strides are not super scary. They're not able to do all that much. Somppu is basically able to survive every time by hit and running with his Strides. But he's not really, he would not be able to push so much, so maybe Osman could have aged. This situation is not too bad for Hero, but he has to win the game at some point. He can't keep taking that kind of trades against Russia. At some point, Russia will just outmass and outboom Hero. So he has to win the game before that point. Or maybe to age up, because if he can be age 3, then it's much easier to beat the Russian army. But Osman shows no intent to go H3 whatsoever. He's just massing colonial units at the moment. And 13 Strides as well for Somppu. So now he's got 60 Strides. And now that this TP is down, the eco is back to equal, and I don't know that there's enough Kanyas to really... Oh, more Kanyas! This might be a really good fight for Osman. He's able to get the Cossacks down and maybe has enough cav left to... Wow, that's a lot of cav. Did he get a second stable or something? No, I guess he just massed from one stable. He needs to surround them. Somppu doing a good job hit and running, but that's a lot of Kanyas. I mean, 11 Kanyas left and more Stridets joining, but I don't know why. Why he doesn't make like more Cossacks and Musks. Cossacks popping, but not in a good position, not gonna be able to rejoin the fight, and the Stridets are now in a really good choke, so they're getting a lot of value, but the Cossacks are not getting good value, but now the Stridets might be just enough to defend with that choke here. Boyar Stridets are extremely strong and extremely cost efficient. 8 Kenyas. I don't know where they're coming from. Oh, he does have a second stable somewhere. Ah, that's why he's got so much cav. But Kenyas have no upgrades in the colonial age for Hero. So it's a bit awkward to mass them, but again, gonna be able to catch these Stridets, and I think these trades are pretty good for Hero overall, but just Russia being Russia is gonna outscale Hero eventually, so not sure these trades are that good. I think Osman could have aged, really. He had a lot of opportunities to age up, I think. And he's just gonna get stuck in H2 now, and it's no good for Hero here. Also with the the Hero War Chief being down and the second TP being up for Russia, and meanwhile gathering here, oh, that might be a massive raid. But yeah, I mean, that's also one thing, right? I mean, just Hero pushing repeatedly in this position here, where Russia has the TC and the blockhouse, and the units popping is maybe not ideal. But wow, this raid is huge. Eco Theory coming in for Russia, so pulling really ahead in eco, but he's gonna lose so many vills that his eco is just not gonna be good anymore. The blockhouse is not even gonna go up. Or, well, it will eventually go up, I guess, but... And this is the problem of going for so many Stridets. I mean, if he would have made more Cossacks, he might have been able to catch this army and punish this raid, but now that he's just making so many Stridets, he's not able to punish it, and in fact he's even gonna get cleaned up maybe. It's, against so many Kanyas here. I don't know why Somppu decided he would not train any Musketeers. He kind of needs Musketeers to kill these Kanyas, and this is gonna be probably the end of the game. I mean, finally the whole army of Russia going down, and he's lost so many vills here. He's out of resources pretty much. It's not over just yet, but this is looking much better. Sorry about that. Much better for Hero now. And Somppu trying to escape his vills, but they're gonna get caught. Oh. Their War Chief is back in the fight, which is a big deal. And these threats are gonna die. Oh, more Kanyas again. So many Kanyas being trained. And Kanyas are not a bad unit by any means. Osman might want a fire pit though. Infantry hit points. So again, a little bit awkward because these Kanyas don't benefit from any upgrade, but so many vills going down, and the Dianas are really strong. Stridets going down. I think this is GG. Fencing school coming in for Russia, not really gonna do anything at all. So yeah, this is a big cleanup. And now Osman could age. But he's probably going to keep messing, which is also okay because he can totally deny the map. Well, I mean, when you're up 30 units to 0 and up in eco like that, you can do pretty much anything, I guess. So this map is really big, and it's a bit hard for Hero maybe to find these villas in these locations because the map is so large. He's trying to scout a bit with the Kenya, but it's not easy to find the villas. So Somppu is gonna Turk a bit. Not gonna resign just yet. Still hoping he can come back because Russia is Russia, and you know you can always come back, I guess. But it's very hard to imagine him coming back at this point. I mean, it's gonna take another 5 minutes or more until he has as many vills as Hero, maybe even 10 minutes from this point. And meanwhile, he's losing his TPs anyway, so Hero is gonna get even more ahead in the eco. So he's gonna try to get some raids, because if he can raid enough vills, he might be able to even out the economic population, but Osman is on top of it, and he's got some Kenyas here to catch the raid, so not gonna happen. Oh, and that is gonna be the final blow for sure. He will find at least 6 vills here and maybe more. Oh, and Somppu is not trying to hide them, he's just staying there. Osman barely missed it. Oh no, I think he saw it. So these vills are dead. These vills are dead. And Somppu resigns. So it was looking sort of good for Russia at some point. It was looking like he was getting decent trades and finally, you know, being able to catch up in the Vil count and the TPs, just taking one of the TPs out, you know, building it himself. Like at this point, it was looking like Russia might be able to just win the game at 13, 14 minutes, you know, just getting the TP down, taking it for himself, starting to have a growing village account, you know, and out booming Hero, while also having a very decent mass. So it was looking like, yeah, you know, Russia might be outscaling and maybe win, but then it all fell apart for Somppu. He just lost his army and lost a bunch of vills here, and then another bunch of vills, and then it was kind of over. And I think the double stable was a very good call from Osman, because Somppu doesn't like the Russian musketeers, and he tends to make as few of them as possible, and he kind of decided that Russian musketeers are bad, which I don't think they are. And so he just made no anti-cav basically the whole game. Maybe he made maybe 5 or 10 musks at most. And knowing this, Osman just decided to go for a second stable and just make only cav, because, well, you know, you're not making anti-cav, so I'm just gonna make only cav. And eventually it paid off. He was able to clean up with his Kenya mass. I don't actually know the map, because the map pool is different for every series. Well, not for every team, let's say. So I don't actually know the maps. So now it's Wadmalo. And it's Osman picking first, as he counterpicked Russia with hero. So now it's his turn to pick first. And the sieves are reset, so they can play anything they want now. This is a quite peculiar map, and I don't really know what is a good first pick on this map. Because water is obviously a thing here, and something like France or Germany should be alright, but then there's water, so I'm not sure it's that good. Or you might go for something like Aztecs, but if you go Aztecs, then your opponent can go France or Germany and probably be fine. Ottomans is pretty solid here, probably. Braids are decent, but you can get counterpicked by Russia or something like that, and there's not too many Huns, so yeah, Otto make a lot of sense, I think. And Somppu is going for Aztecs. Maybe gonna try to do something with the double war hut age up. All right, so we are going into game 4. Sorry, I don't know why, but my voice is kind of dying today. We're going into game 4 of the series between Somppu of the SKG clan and KingofOsmane from the MDS, Mandarin Duck Squad. Osman being currently up 3-0 in this play 05. So no matter what, we're gonna have 5 games, and now the plan is for Somppu to try to get some wins in, and for Osman to try to prevent that from happening. Just get as many points as possible for their respective team. So on this map, you start with a canoe, which can be useful because you can try to grab some treasures. Like you can, for example, well, that's a bit hard to take because of the Renegado, but you can sometimes get close to the shore and try to abuse the fact that the Guardians will not be able to attack your canoe. Get some stuff like that, like 50 wood. Otto going for the leftmost TP, which is very questionable because he's not gonna get the... I don't know if he gets the XP. I get that Otto doesn't want to build this one. This one is the most exposed trading post, and you get the first XP, but it might be just taken down by Aztecs instantly. But maybe he could have gone for that one. Maybe he will get the XP, and then it's okay. Because if he does get the XP, he's going to have his real shipment in. And that TP will be very hard for Aztecs to siege down, and he will definitely get it. So that's pretty good. Problem being that Ottomans had to walk all the way to the left, which is a lot of wasted time. It's 1 minute 30 and he was not able to take a single treasure. So that's the problem of going for that TP, but at least it will be very safe for later. I wonder if it's not just simply better to... Because that canoe is so fast, so you could put your explorer in the canoe and just ferry your explorer down here and then go build your TP a little bit faster. I think it would be worth it. Also, he needs to use it, at least fish or something, because you can see Somppu has made good use of the canoe, just sending a veal on that island, eating the cows. So he's got a bit of walking time with that veal, but able to eat the cows and age up faster at the end of the day. Also, he was able to build a TP because it was a wood start, but he got the 5 population space treasure, which means he did not need to build a house, so he could actually build a TP with his wood instead of a house, and that is very good. It's pretty smart from Somppu, because he was able to overpop to 16 vills, but now he can cancel vill if he wants to, just to age, but he just made sure he could make enough vills and would not be housed because of the 15 pop. And so he does have the TP. Now he can totally cancel that Vill. Oh wait, actually that's a Warrior Priest. Never mind. It's taking pop space. So he's just gonna age 15, which is standard, but he's got a TP. So this is really good for for Aztecs. That Warship though, it's gonna go down. It's dead. That is not good for Aztecs at all. Very sloppy by Somppu here, overextending so much with the Explorer, maybe busy aging up and just dying really. He's gonna fast age, so he's gonna be really fast, and he's got the TP, so it's still a pretty good start for Aztecs here, but not having that Explorer up and giving auto 100 XP is not what you want. Osman is going for a tower FF. He's got 100 gold and just gathering food and not building a second trading post or anything like that. So gonna be pretty aggressive. Tower in base behind his TC actually. Very defensive. Probably a good placement. That Cherokee almost going down, but not quite. An Aztec sending 2 vills. Oh, well, let's have a look at his deck. It looks like they're gonna build a war hut next to the water, so he might be going for some sort of water build. Nope. He's maybe just trying to hide them. I guess he could not make a war hut because he had to make a house, right? That's the problem when you get the 5 pop treasure and you don't have a house in age 1. Then you need to build a house. So he could not build the war hut and was like, yeah, okay, then whatever, I'm just gonna wait until my 700 wood and build it. So he's building that war hut now, but Otto is already gonna be aging to age 3, so I'm not sure how much that war hut is gonna be able to accomplish. Oh, Somppu is gonna make a lot of Pumas for sure. Going for 600 coin. He's got hunting dogs in the way. Might want to chop maybe the remaining 28 wood to build another house. He will probably need it. And just training Pumas now. So he's probably just gonna go for a big Puma timing, but I think it's gonna be too late because that barracks is gonna go up for sure. The tower is in base as well, and there's gonna be Minutemen. So I don't really know what Somppu is hoping to do now with only Pumas. 10 maces coming in. And Osman has a shipment on the way, I think. Probably 5 Jans again, but popping forward. Okay, he's gonna pull them back, so he got a free volley on these Pumas. And the maces are gonna try to get on the Jans, but with the TC and the tower shooting away, these maces are gonna go down pretty fast. Minutemen being cold. And there's gonna be the hussars from the age up as well, so these maces are toast. He should be attacking the Pumas actually, because the maces are gonna die anyway to the hussars, so we might as well focus the Pumas. And so yeah, that plan of Somppu did not quite work out. Oh, he's got Abus guns, that's interesting. I still think 4 Huss is better, but Abus are definitely a good unit right now. And even though he shipped the 5 Jans, he still got a shipment ready. Not quite able to push, though. Obviously, he's got almost no units, so he has to pull back and wait until he gets maybe 8 Jans. I still don't think that the 5 Jans was a good idea. I mean, he didn't need to ship 5 Jans to defend, but he was probably just playing it safe just in case he needed these extra units to defend. So now he can just take his time. Like, you're in no hurry at this point as Otto. Really in no hurry at all. I mean, Aztec has no eco, so it's not like he's gonna outgather you too much or anything. You can just enjoy the fact that your fortress, ship 8 Jans and 2 Falconets, gather for veteran Jans and some houses, and then just push. Losing the barracks did hurt Otto because obviously he had to rebuild the barracks, so he doesn't have so much wood. But regardless, Jan Falconet is extremely hard for Aztecs to deal with. And Sompu is probably just gonna keep shipping units, probably just 6 Coyotes next, just try to defend the push because he knows the Falconets are gonna come and he's gonna try to defend that, but it's not gonna be easy. And so now Osman can probably just get one more batch of Jans and then switch. Well, he switched most of his wheels to wood already, so yeah, I think after this batch now, he's probably going now. Like, I think I would go right now with the Falconets popping, because they're gonna pop, and the Vet Jans gonna be on the way. But anyway, Aztecs is gonna come, so he doesn't need to push. And surely there's enough units for Otto to defend. Falconets are gonna pop any second. Vet Jan's on the way, Falconet's popping, so this is go time for Ottomans. Yeah, I mean, I just don't think... I disagree, honestly. Ottoman Tower FF is not good in a lot of matchups. It might be pretty good against Aztecs, obviously. But against Hero, like he did in game 1, I don't even think it's very good. Hero can FF themselves and just be totally okay. Against France or Germany, Tower FF is also not very good, so I don't think it's fair to say that it's broken. To be honest, I mean, this build from Sompu is just not very good. I don't think it counters the Tower FF at all, anyway. And Sompu is gonna try to age up. Maybe? He's probably got 5 years on the way and just gonna gather the remaining resources he needs to age, but it's a very long way to fortress. And he's already in position to base trade, so when Sompu is gonna push the Wahat, when Osman is gonna push the Wahat, Sompu is probably just gonna base trade. But there might be some cav on the way for Osman to just snare these units. Like, he might just get the Spahiz now. If you look at, yeah, he's going for the Spahiz, so the base trade is not gonna work because if Sompu comes in, the Spahiz will be able to snare his army and just kill him. But I don't know why Osman is not pushing already. I mean, there's no way Aztecs can deal with his unit composition, so he could have been pushing already, and he's kind of waiting too much. And at the end of the day, Aztecs is pulling already ahead in eco, and he's able to age up. And I really think Osman could have gone like 2 minutes ago with his Falconets. There was no way Aztec could deal with it. But he's waiting for his Spahiz, and we'll see. The big thing is that, again, the Spahiz are going to deal with this very easily, I think. Wait, what? Oh, I guess he needed the pop space, so he deleted them. But Osman doesn't know that Sompu is aging, so he's sort of taking his time, just, you know, slow pushing and being like, yeah, you're H2, I'm just building more Jans and you will never be able to kill my Falconets. But in fact, Sompu is going to be up, so it's not too good. Oh, this Coyote is getting snared. Puma is connecting, instantly killing one of the Spahis. The Spahis need to go in now and snare. Some Coyote is gonna die. But this is buying a lot of time for Sompu. I just feel like he will get snared by the Spahis eventually, and oh, that is a big shot. He's gonna try to escape in that direction to buy even more time. And his units are fast. The maces are 4.5 speed, so it's faster than the Jans and the Abus, but there's gonna be 2 noble hearts up. 5 hearts as well, so adding some more calf to this composition. Right-clicking this would be kind of GG. There's no way Sompu could defend that location if you look at the military. But Osman probably just doesn't know about it. This is why you need to scout a bit more than that, just to know where you push. Like, don't push the 2 war huts and 2 noble huts, just push the resources and then it's game over. Because then Aztec has only berries and he's gonna lose a lot of vills here. But regardless, this mass is just too big. I mean, maybe if Aztec can get some Arrow Knights and kill the Falconets, he might be in a decent position, but I mean, it's just looking like Otto is so far ahead in military for the time being. And whenever he wants, Otto can just ship 1k wood and get 2 TCs anywhere on the map and start booming. So we'll have to see. But Osman is kind of getting run around by all these units, and but now he's gonna push here, and that's gonna hurt. Sompu is pulling away all his vills, but there's probably a hunt here. Why can I not toggle Fog of War? I don't understand. Ah well, that's a weird bug. Oh, it's trying to type something here. Okay, I don't know what's going on. Ah, so you can actually select that. Ah, interesting. And that is not gonna be a good fight for Aztecs. And Janissary Combat coming in, which is definitely the right card to send at this point. He's got so many Jans, 50 Jans. Falconet's going for a flank as well. So they're gonna get some good volleys. They might die because they're not recovered here, but they're definitely gonna get some good volleys. They don't change. I don't know what he's talking about. "13 Macy is not upgraded. Not really gonna do much at all. And so this is basically a cleanup for Ottomans. Oh, that volley. It seems pretty laggy all of a sudden. For some reason. And Sompo resigns. I mean, there's not really anything he can do. Down 70 or 60 pop-up units. And eventually these vills would be found. Well, actually they were found right now. Good job by Osman keeping the scouting active with that low HP hassle and just finding the vills, and then there's no way Like these viewers would just die, so GG. Just kind of a weird build from Somppu. That timing was not really scary and he just put himself behind. Then again, if you let Ottomans FF and your Aztecs in H2, there's not much you can do, honestly. So, we're gonna go into that last game of the player 5. Osman is up 4-0 against Somppu. I think Osman was the favorite because Somppu is not playing so much anymore. So and Osman has been playing well recently. So I think we could expect Osman to win, but 4-0 is definitely a very good score for the MDS team at this point. Well, anyway, yeah, I really don't know why everyone is thinking that the auto FF is sort of OP or something when it's just really not good in so many situations. Uh, People just seem to play wrong against the auto FF. Anyway, so now Ottomans being locked for Somppu. And let's see what Osman counter picks with. And so, what can Osman play? Well, Osman can still play anything except Otto himself. So he might just play France. I know that Osman is comfortable playing France, and France is for sure a decent counterpick to. Well, I would not call it a counterpick to Otto, especially not on Iowa. It's Otto favored, but France is totally decent against Otto. I don't really know what else you can play on Iowa against Otto, honestly. It doesn't feel like there's a whole lot of counterpick options. Maybe Sue, but that's about it. So he's going for France. And so I guess Somppu is gonna tower FF himself because he really likes. I mean, he really seems to think it's very strong, so he might just go for a tower FF. But we'll have to see. There's definitely stagecoach options on this map for Ottomans. So there's different ways to play it. All right. Oh, I need to update the score. 4-0 for KingofOsmane. And this is a wood start, and that is very important for France. Getting that first TP already, it just makes it so much harder for Otto to get the control of the TP line, especially because then you can get the one on the side, which is going to be hard for Otto to siege down. Because if you get a TP in transition, then Otto is going to... Oh, he still got it. That is unfortunate. He might have been able to pull trick his Explorer here instead of... yeah, and he could have maybe stolen the TP, but... Well, I guess at this point, France should just get that coin and go for a market. He's gonna still gather for a TP, but... I mean, isn't it just better to go for a market and meanwhile kill the Ottoman Explorer, at least? Because he's gonna kill it, but then what is he gonna do with his wood? Is he gonna build a TP later? I mean, it just doesn't pay off. You already might as well go for a market. If you're not gonna build a TP right now, then just go for a market. Really, it's not that bad. Especially with some coin in base, because now he's just gonna float to 100 wood, and he's gonna miss the pass. If he goes to build the TP even here, he will not get the XP, I think. Oh, he barely might, but even then, do you really want to build it in the middle of the map where Ottoman is going to be able to siege it down? You kind of want it here, but this is such a long way. Oh, he's going to miss the XP, 100%. So he's missed like 2 XP passes already. So is it really worth building a TP if you're not going to get any XP in age 1 or almost? Really, just go for a market. Then you age late, you age faster, and you just build your TP here when you're aging in transition to age 2. Yeah, it would just be better. I think this is a mistake, but he did still kill the Explorer, which is nice for him. But then again, Otto is already aging because that XP is insane. He got the XP and he got to ship the 3 vills pretty early, and he's aging already. And France is a long way from aging up himself. Well, he's still France, so, you know, he's going to gather that food pretty quickly. So actually, maybe he's not going to really idle, actually, so it's okay. But I'm more concerned about that trading post just not giving him any XP until another pass, and then he will get some XP and... But he did get a 90 coin because he killed the Ottoman Explorer. And now he's getting a 75 wood, so still pretty good age 1 for... I guess it's still a good age 1 for KingofOsmane anyway. Now we're going to be able to drop market. Wow, Somppu has a lot of hunts. That's kind of unusual on this map. Well, I guess this one is not much further away. But this one is in the back, that's the thing. And he's got another one here. I should have maybe rehosted that. It's not really that Osman is not missing hunts. He's got kind of the standard amount of hunts for this map. But it's more that Somppu has too many hunts somehow. So it might have been worth rehosting. Luckily, I don't think extra hunts matter for Otto. I don't think it matters that Somppu has too many hunts, but I should have probably rehosted. I'm gonna build the second TP. There's a forward barracks here. So I like this play more than the FF at this point. Yeah, you don't want to fight this, he's up. So yeah, he's gonna build his TP. Yeah, I like this play because you can just get the TP down and take it for yourself. Get a stagecoach. And then just do anything behind. You can age, you can stay H2 a little bit longer. It doesn't matter. I mean, as long as you secure the stagecoach and you're still able to follow up to fortress quickly enough, you're in a good position as Otto. So, oh, market going down. Kind of a questionable use of his wood at this point. I feel like he could keep it for a second building, or I mean a second military building, or take the TP. Also, you need to scout what the opponent is doing, because now he's adding a foundry, but France is going for hussars. Oh, he's getting 600 wood, so that's why he's building a market. But yeah, anyway, France is going for hussars, and he's just going to be able to raid, and the Aegis guns are not really going to be useful here. So he might have wanted to build a stable instead, because if you get a stable, you can train hussars yourself and defend the raids. Oh, three hussars. That's very underwhelming. I don't know why this happens. He had a lot of resources too. Maybe he just... I think it's a choice actually. He decided to just go for 3 hussars and age with 700 gold now. Yeah, there you go. So he's just gonna raid a little bit and age as soon as he can. So it's kind of a smart counter to what Somppu is trying to do. And these Aegis guns are gonna be essentially useless. So this is when Otto should have already a stable up and 700 gold, maybe previous card, and he could have 5 Huss, like popping now or something, and he could catch this, or push them away, and then push the base a little bit. But instead, he's got 1 Aegis gun, which is completely useless, and he has to pull back his Jans to try and defend the raid. So these 3 Hussars are paying off already. I think they killed a Vil. Yeah. Gonna kill another Vil here. Just buying so much time, forcing the Jans back, just... And meanwhile, he's aging himself, so he's totally fine there. And Otto got 3 TPs, but if Otto is not gonna age himself, and if he's not gonna do any sort of push, the stagecoach is not that good. Like, you need the stagecoach, but you also need some sort of pressure, because Otto still get outscaled by France, so you still need to, at some point, do something. Doesn't matter if it's in early fortress or in colonial before you age yourself, but you have to make something happen at some point. And it looks right now like Somppu is not going to be able to do that. He's going to follow up, probably going to have that TP on food or gold to help him age. Sorry. Yeah. But, and he does have steel traps, I guess, in the first Musk upgrade. But yeah, just aging quite a bit later than France, without really doing much in H2, except getting the stagecoach, which is already nice, but might not be enough in my opinion. We'll see how it goes in H2 now. I think there's a window for France to push. He's got 8 skirms, a batch of 5 goons, no barracks though. That's obviously the cost of not shipping wood. Means you have a have a hard time getting 2 buildings up. He does have Gangsa though, so he can maybe get a barracks. But even this unit composition is already, for the time being, to probably get the TP down. I think he should go for the TP and not the barracks. Yeah, his herding has been pretty sloppy this game. 4 Vils. I guess. Gonna lose another Vil here though. Wait, yeah. So 3 Vils down, almost the whole 4 Vil shipment anyway. A second TC in the back. So Somppu not feeling comfortable going out on the map with a TC. Minuteman popping gonna help defend, but KingofOsmane is gonna be able to hit and run his way out of the base if he wants to. 1k gold first is quite greedy as well. But if he can get enough Aegis guns out, he will be fine for the time being. Sniping the Aegis nicely. And just a few Minutemen left. Not very much for Somppu to defend this. 7 skirms being shipped as well, so this is kind of old school France. Just a quick semi-FF and then ship skirms and train goons. Which is good sometimes, like in this game I think it's showing to be pretty good. So yeah, that TC is going up, but meanwhile, not really any units for Somppu. He's trying to go industrial? I thought he was just gonna make Abus guns with the gold. But I guess he can't make Abus because this artillery foundry is surrounded. But I just don't see how he's gonna get the food for industrial. That TC is found, but it's too late. It's gonna go up. He's not gonna be able to deny it. Although he might have if he just focused directly. It would have gone down if he just shot at the Explorer instead of the Bills at start. So it's going up. And Somppu is setting his TP to food, so he will get the food he needs to age eventually, but right now he's not gathering anything. He's being idle completely in his base, and somehow he got the food. I guess he traded some resources, and now he's gonna age, so maybe Somppu can just ship 1k wood and revolt. Like if he ages up with 1k gold and ships 1k wood now at this TC, and somehow gets the 1k food he needs, he could revolt. I don't know that it would work, but it's probably his only option now, because I don't know what else you do here. And this is a revolt deck. I mean, he's got 8 Haas as well. Something like 12 Abus would be a great card now, but he doesn't have it in deck, so... The problem for Somppu is that even if he goes for a revolt, he's just got... Like, Osman has so many dragoons. The Imperial Hussars are not going to be super scary. Osman is probably going to go for calf combat next anyway. And he will be able to defend just fine. And meanwhile, Osman is going to lose the stagecoach. 1k wood for Osman, so he's going to be able to rebuild the TPs. And he's built an arsenal somewhere, I think. Or how did he spend... I saw he had... Oh yeah, there it is. So I think he's going to attack his goons. Because if you look at Somppu's deck, you see there's nothing that can kill dragoons here. So if you just take the goon upgrade... one way to lose is to attack this TC though. You don't want to be sieging this. It's not going to go down anyway, and it's one way to just lose. Although, yeah, Somppu got the resources to revolt now, so... I think he's waiting for 8 Haas. And he's gonna... yeah, so now 8 Haas are gonna pop, plus his colonial militia, and 10 Imperial Hussars. So it's gonna be 18 Imperial Haas. Yeah, this is not good. You don't want to be sieging this down, really. It's the one way you lose. He could have been sieging down the TPs and running around, but... So now this is actually a pretty good catch by Somppu here. Gonna kill a lot of goons. His colonial militia are already strong against dragoons. And so these double-carded goons are strong, but not enough to retake on these guys. So, yeah, that is one way to lose the game, like I said, and we'll see. I mean, it's a revolt, so obviously Somppu has no eco. Osman might just be able to ship the falconets. He can still ship falconets, and just, if he can kill the hussars, he will be able to deal with his colonial militia with falconets. And with good micro also, because these guys have more range, so he could, I guess he's gonna win this by just microing. Oh, he did not get the 8 hussars in actually. I wonder if it was just cancelled by the revolt. I think 8 Haas would have been great. If he could have 8 more Haas here, he would be in a good spot. But yeah, this is not looking good for Somppu. Is losing all his colonial militia now. His revolt was just too slow, and the second TC is really just useless. If you're gonna revolt instantly, what's the point of having another TC? Oh, that's a good catch, but oh, Somppu rebuilt a TP, which is definitely nice. So he has a sort of eco. He's got 3 TPs. So he can train. He doesn't have a stable, but he can train some colonial militia. But yeah, Osman can totally afford to let some CDBs die, as he anyway has much more eco. And I think this is pretty much over. I mean, Somppu will get another shipment like that, but meanwhile, Osman is just massing more units. And already he could get the 2 Falconets now. There's no more hassles. He knows no more hassles are gonna come, so he can just get 2 Falcons and deal with this very easily. So this is pretty much GG. Also some pikes being trained, which is nice to get the TPs down. He can run around and try to get them down. It really feels like there's not much Otto can do anymore in this game. Let's check. And Somppu got his TP on wood, but I don't know what he wants to do with that wood. It should be on food so he can train some colonial militia, but it just doesn't matter, I guess. I'm not sure what he's talking about. I don't think anyone is gonna ever nerf a revolt, but yeah. So it's kind of time to resign. He's gonna try to... Okay, yeah. GG. So that makes it 5-0 for KingofOsmane. A pretty convincing series for Osman here. Pretty well played. Somppu not playing his best today, and 5 points going straight to the MDS. So that's gonna be very good for them. Can I have a small look at the stats? Well, I mean, Otto just doing nothing basically and dying, just losing his units and revolting quite late. And even though he's got a good pop, it was just not enough. So